All right, so we're out here at St. Ambrose Catholic Church. We're going ahead and building them a grotto for their Mother Mary. Over on this side, they have the cemetery down the roadway here. They have a cross, and they wanted to line up the Mother Mary perfectly. So this morning we had a machine out here to get it right in line with the cross all the way down. So the next 2 weeks we're going to be out here building this grotto and having, I don't know exactly where it's from. I'll find out exactly. Father Stephen wants me to watch this DVD, so I'm going to watch the DVD so I get a little bit more knowledge on what exactly he was talking about. But yeah, we'll be out here for the next couple weeks. Me, Mike, and the pond crew slamming and jamming. So I just wanted to give you guys a little look on this Missouri weathered limestone. We never really use it because it's a little bit pricier and some people don't want to pay for it. But just the character on this rock is unbelievable. I mean, just all the different texture. I mean, they have moss growing all over. Like, I'll show you this one back here. I mean, we got some big boulders out here. This will be the cap to our grotto here. This measures at 8 feet by about 4.5 feet wide. This is going to be our lid on top of the grotto. But just look at some of these guys. Look at this moss growing all over. It's like a carpet. And this stuff's going to just keep on growing. Once it has a little bit of water on there, a little bit of sunlight, shade, it's just going to keep on growing. This one back here, look at this one, John. Crazy. Yeah, so we're just kind of messing around with how we want to arrange these, because the Mother Mary stands about 4 foot tall, just over 4 foot tall. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to have columns. I'm going to have 3 separate columns, and then I'm going to try to enclose the backside as much as I can. Just depends on how much rock we have to do it. But I want these columns to be 5 to 6 foot tall. Each one of them have to be pretty dead on. So when I put that grotto lid on, it all looks uniform. So I'm going to have 2 in the front columns and 1 in the back. Mother Mary will be sitting right underneath it. I'm going to have water flowing from underneath her. And I'm going to be using this rock right here as our waterfall going down. And then we're going to have a stream area, just nice little babbling brook going down, and it's going to be disappearing into the basin. But this is kind of a cool rock because it looks like something's missing here. So it has a nice little channel where water's going to be running through here. And that's how I'm going to do it. And that's Mother Nature doing its work right here. We have another whole semi that got dropped at the nursery. Well, we have a job coming up, I think it's a few months out, that they wanted weathered limestone. So we had to order 2 semis. They're using about half of the semi for the other job, but the other half of the semi I'm going to be bringing out here and using. So just imagine you see all this rock here. Another half of that I'm going to be bringing out more. All right, so this whole area that we're building this grotto, when they get a heavy rain, it would flood over here. So what we've done is we've brought in 3 dump loads, about 40 yards of dirt, more than that, 30 something yards of dirt. We brought in, we're elevating this thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shape out how I want to have my perimeter. I'm going to be building a 2-foot retaining wall of rock around this thing and then elevating it. So I'm going to backfill with gravel and dirt, elevating it. So you got to imagine the grotto is going to start 2 feet higher than where I'm standing now. So from here, it's going to be 2 plus 7 feet. So it's going to be 9 feet from this elevation here. Yo, Mike, let's move this rock.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the E85. I'm Michael Grotto, and I'm setting rocks today.
Luckily, Sunbelt, shout out to you guys. We're easy to deal with, dropped it off on site. They even came and serviced it while we had it, while we were out at lunch. But yeah, the E85, it's one of the bigger ones that they carry with steel rubber tracks. Definitely allows us to lift, rocks easily over a ton. It's a whole nother challenge. Each machine kind of has its own feel. Same settings, really, same operational joystick settings, but just with the size of this, there's extra wiggling and stuff going on. So These days are going to be spent being extremely careful so I don't crush anyone. Regardless if I'm enclosed by glass or not, one of the first things that you learn really when you operate is just with setting rock is like the hand signals. So we don't have to talk. When we're setting rock, I'm looking at hand signals. So if I wanted to, I can operate without talking to anyone really. Just sign language. It's super comfortable in here. You know, if I don't want to talk to you,
Morning, everybody. I got Murph Dog with me today.
How you doing today?
He's been out here helping with the grotto. Also got Brian back there. Went ahead and squaring away the base. These guys are going to explain how the process is going and what stage we're at right now.
Right, all right, so we've been setting rocks. Beautiful, awesome rocks here. Today we dug a hole so we could put our basin in. These aqua blocks are going to hold the water. That vault right there, we're going to put a pump in. It's going to, our plumbing is going to make this whole thing run. So these fabrics in the corners are to prevent any of these aqua blocks or plastic kind of sharp edges from puncturing our liner when we flip it back over and go to backfill. That's what we're gonna do right now. Check it out. All right, cut it. So this is the favorite part of the day, as far as I'm concerned. Everyone else can speak for themselves, but this is what I look forward to, and this is what I miss afterwards.
Yeah, and he also missed out on this place yesterday. We were here yesterday, and he was taking care of top notch.
Every time I'm not at work, this guy puts it around there in the quotations like
What do you have, Michelle?
I have some grits, some mac and cheese, and some shrimps.
What you big dog?
got the fried shrimp, French fries, some coleslaw.
I'm fasting.
That does look good.
Give you the verdict in a second.
So what are they growing out here, Sean?
We got greens, we got cabbage. What else did you say? Broccoli, cauliflower,
Taters.
Yeah, they got taters in the ground now.
Taters should be ready in April.
Yeah.
All right.
Where's it at, Brian? France?
Yep.
Lourdes, France? Is the actual statue that we're trying to mimic a little bit. Is they have a cavern set off to the side where the water's at, and then Mary's up in the grotto per se. So that's why we're gonna have water towards the side. We'll have a little bit of water coming through, and then we'll have most of our water over here. Other obstacles we're having is I set some rocks and then I don't like them. We have to take them out. Like we had one huge rock in the back, but it wasn't too level. So when I set my next rocks, it's kind of wobbly. So we have to take that one out, put another big rock in. The two rocks I set yesterday, I'm not too fond of, so I'm gonna be taking those out today and messing with those.
Which ones are those, Sean?
The two to the flanking sides. Yeah, I kind of want to mess with them a little bit. I might use like two smaller rocks on that left-hand side. Use that one I have on the left right now down below. So we're gonna mess around with it a little bit today. I mean, so things change on the job, always. So this is gonna be our grotto lid here. Once we set it on top, I think it's gonna look a little funny. So what I'm gonna try to do is take some of the smaller rocks I have and notch them, or if I have enough space on top of the other rocks, I'll bring some other rocks in here, but I might just cut them kind of like pool coping. So the rock will come up and go over top of the grotto lid a little bit, just to tie everything in. So it's not our rocks on the grotto and then a lid on top and then you see the whole lid side. So I'm gonna try to blend it in as much as possible. Mike's over here meditating right now. All right. Bring it down a little bit. All right, come out. As you see, we switched the design a little bit. It was supposed to be like a kidney bean shape. As the project goes, you change things on the fly. And my idea is they wanted to have a little kneeling bench out here so people can come out and pray and do their thing. So that's why I did a little bump out on this side so they could tuck a bench in over there, a kneeling bench, so people could come over there and people could stand in front of it, just make it more interactive. We got Murph Dog in the back, just tucking liner. Just that last 10%. I mean, that makes the project really pop at the end. So on the grotto, I'm gonna be putting 3 lights inside to kind of light up Mary. I'm gonna have 2 lights on the front side of her lighting up, and on the back side, I'm gonna put another light just to illuminate behind her. So at nighttime, this thing will be glowing. Also, we're gonna be installing a 1 watt down here on the waterfall, and then we're gonna have 1 more down the stream, kind of highlighting. With this waterfall, they didn't want anything crazy, so we kind of did like a simple little stream waterfall that was coming out. But as we turned it on, I saw there was a little bit of water pooling up on top of the rock. So I chiseled out a little bit of the rock so some of the water went over on this side. So I had a little bit of a trickle coming through here as well. That's things you kind of add as you go. We have a 2,000 to 4,000 aqua surge. They didn't want any massive flow. Right now I have it at the 4,000 gallons per hour. I'm gonna crank it down to 2,000 and I'll let you guys see the difference. You guys will be able to hear it too. Just take this in. So imagine this being in your backyard and you wanted a little bit quieter. If it was too loud and you wanted to have a little bit of intimate time with your wife or your husband, you actually can hear each other. When you crank it up, it's hard to hear each other when it's that loud. We'll crank it back up so you can hear it again. Takes a few seconds, be patient. Yeah, I like it at the lower setting. Crank it back down to that lower setting. I like it a little bit more subtle. It's been a couple weeks since we've been out here. Father Stephen finally got Mary in, Mother Mary. So I'm out here today to attach her to our concrete slab and doing little detailed touches like the moss work, the air plants. As you see, I have all kinds of little stuff I've been adding in just to hide the imperfections. But I really think this turned out cool to be my first grotto I've ever done. We don't have water going over the top of it grotto wise, but we have a grotto for Mary. This is my first time ever doing it, and I think it turned out amazing. Man, I think every church should have a replica of this.